folks, mic's okay? You guys hear me? People at the back, can you hear me? Of course you can. This is not Manfo Convention Center. I'll get to that in a bit. I wasn't supposed to open tonight. Brikesh was. He had to travel. So only last week, we kind of decided that I'm going to do this particular bit. So I was thinking, how do I put something together this quickly? And then I was like, hey, this is the first time we have a Hindi comic performing here at Kuta. Very first time, right? तो मैंने सोचा कि क्यों ना मैं आज हिंदी में करूं। सिर्फ सोचा। Are you mad? Some of you guys know this. When I saw a childhood friend, I got very excited and I said, मैं इतना कुछ था मैंने जाके उसको हक दिया। I'm also the same guy, to be gender correct, because slipper is feminine, used to say, मैं चप्पल लेके मारूंगी. I'm also the same guy who used to think, khudkushi is something pleasurable that you do. By yourself. So, and you want me to do an entire set in Hindi. Who do you think I am, Mamta Banerjee? So that idea went out of the window. And I started thinking, comedy is such a tough thing to do. If you don't believe me, ask Trevor Noah. No, jokes aside. Sorry, can't be aside. Jokes are the reason why you guys are here. You know, I'll tell you why it is tough. Making people laugh when you have come with the intent to laugh is tough, right? It's not like a social environment where you're talking to your friends and you crack a joke and everybody's like, haha, that is funny, right? Here, you're like, joke batao, joke batao. It's like when you're taking a dump without any pressure. Sorry, wrong example. You need pressure for that. It's like driving on an empty road versus driving on outer ring road. Right? Too much pressure. But that's not the reason why comedy is tough. Do you know what is the biggest competition to stand-up comedy today is? Daily news. Everyday news is so funny that comics are finding it difficult to keep up with it, right? Like for instance, a couple of weeks ago, Ramesh Biduri started yelling all sorts of bad language to a Muslim MP in Parliament. Everyone lost their mind. They're like, he's going to get suspended, he's not going to come to the Parliament again and all that. All the comedians thought, oh, we'll write a joke about it. They're like, because he's from the ruling party, he's not going to get suspended, he's going to get promoted, all of that, right? 2 weeks later, he did get promoted. Right? And he's one of the chief strategists in one of the constituencies in Rajasthan. So what I did was, I looked at the headlines for just last week and I thought I'll just look at it and I'll read them out to you just so that you know what we're up against. Right? These are actual news headlines. I'm not making this up. I'm going to read them verbatim. Are you ready? Are you ready? Yes. Malhar wants to know. Yes. Sorry, views. I just got a little excited. 1 second. These are actual headlines. No salary for Mukesh Ambani's children. Will only be paid for board meetings. I don't know if you know, Akash Ambani just had his second child. How do you think he's going to make ends meet without a salary? Next headline. British Museum asks public and experts to help recover stolen artifacts. Irony must have just jumped out of the big pen and committed khudkushi. That utter flop movie, Vaccine War, after that they were interviewing the director, and this is one of the things that he said during the interview. Vivek Agnihotri says, Playboy sells more copies than Bhagavad Gita. Now, I'm thinking what you guys are thinking. Where to get Playboy? Next one. Former Indian diplomat claims Justin Trudeau's plane is full of cocaine. Now think about this for a second. Justin is in his plane with his cabinet ministers. They're making all these policies. And I was like, Joshua, just give me one line. No, wait, give me one line. And then we're going to blame India for a killing that happened in our soil. That's how I think he's taking his decisions. Next one. The launch date for KR-Puram Baipanalli Metro depends on the availability of the dates from VIPs of both the state and the center. Now this was this small Lego piece that was missing, which is ready, and it would have been of great convenience for the commuters, but they haven't opened yet because they want a politician to come and cut the ribbon, right? It's ironic because if you zoom out from the map and look at this purple line, that little gap seems like somebody's cut the ribbon. Next one. Hindu extremists in Australia are demanding a Hindu country and are chanting war cries like Jai Shri Ram and Har Har Mahadev in Sydney. Little bit tense, no? That's why you're not laughing. Now these guys have moved from India and gone to Australia and are requesting for a Hindu country. Even the Aussies are like, crikey mate, these guys should be slapped with thongs. You know what thongs are in Australia? What is it? In Australia it's different. That's the US version. Flip-flops. Flip-flops are thongs in Australia. It's their way of मैं चप्पल लेके मारूंगी. Yeah. So okay. Now last but not the least. Trevor Noah cancels his Bangalore shows over bad acoustics. Now this particular headline by itself isn't funny. It's everything that happened around it which made it comical for the rest of the world, right? This was happening in the tech capital of the country, in a tech park, possibly attended by a few hundred techies. And there was a technical glitch. People who are stuck in traffic, they were selling their tickets on social media to the folks who are ahead in traffic, closer to the venue. That's how technically savvy we are. We couldn't get the damn audio working, right? Trevor Noah himself came about 20 minutes late to the show. Black Dog had a big standee, and the tagline of that said, savor the pause. It was indeed a very long pause. Trevor did come on stage for a few minutes and try to fix the audio. And he cracked one joke. He cracked one joke, which obviously the audience did not hear, only the front rows. So he said, I'll tell you guys, the front rows, I'll tell you the joke. You pass on the joke to the next rows, all the way back. That's the only joke he cracked. Now, if you remember, 2 years ago, in 2021, Munawar Farooqi was arrested in Indore because the audience heard a joke that he did not crack. And that is why I say stand-up comedy is a joke in our country. Both Munawar's arrest and Trevor's cancellation of the shows are already comedy routines, right? Trevor roasted Bangalore in his Bombay shows. Right? I really like this guy. Whenever travels to a new country, he really becomes one of them, right? He came to India, became an Indian in an instant. Zero accountability. and he turned our tragedy into his comedy. As they say, humor is tragedy plus time. And that is my time for tonight. Thank you very much. You've been a lovely audience.